Well, it's day 2, sort of. We went out for a couple hours yesterday, literally didn't even mark a muskie on a lake that's supposed to have muskies. I beg to differ at the moment. But anyways, we switched lakes, a little smaller body of water, and we raised a couple fish, and I just had the first bite of the day on a monster grenade. It's a custom collar from Team Rhino Outdoors. It's called TRO Tullibee. You've seen this one on our show before. We've caught a couple fish on it, a couple really nice fish. But I'm just slow rolling it. They were really, yesterday we didn't see any fish, so I assumed that they weren't going to be in a good mood today. Today we've had a couple kind of lazy follows on rubber, so what I decided to do is put on a monster grenade and just slow roll that puppy. And I've thrown it for probably 15 minutes. I've had one follow and just lost one. So maybe that's what they want. Nice, slow, low monster grenade. We'll keep after it here. Definitely acting a lot better than yesterday. We've already seen like 5 or 6 fish. Lost one. We've only been out for probably an hour and a half. And yesterday we fished for 4.5 hours and never seen a muskie. But that's how it goes. It is November now. It's kind of cold. Water temps are finally in the 40s. My favorite time of year in Minnesota. And I'm excited. We're going to get a really big fat one today, I hope. Well, first fish of the day. Still chucking that monster grenade, just kind of slow rolling it. What I'm trying to do is go down the break, and then when I get down about halfway, I'm burning it in. What that is doing is that triggers a lot of those follows. As soon as you get down to that bottom half, I think right there is about where the fish are at, and then I start burning up, and then they shoot up and eat. That one clobbered it. Not a giant, but a nice fat fish, and we'll take it. The fishing's been really tough, but they definitely are liking the monster grenade today. This is a Team Rhino custom collar, TRO Tullibee. And we're fishing a body of water that does have ciscoes, so they are eating on those ciscoes, getting fat for the winter. Let's get her taken care of. Hopefully we're in a window, and get a few more. I can't see her. All right, let's get her out, take a look at her. She's mad, I know that. Oh, they're so heavy this time of year. A little better than I thought. Welcome back to Mayhem 10,000 Cast. If you want to catch some fall fatties and you don't want to chuck rubber all day, monster grenade's the way to go. And they usually haven't seen blades and flash blue this time of year. I like that one. That's a brute. Very 43, 44 incher maybe. Let's get her back, get some more. That's what's really cool about November. Wow. I love November. I'm telling you guys, everybody talks about Minnesota, talks about topwater bucktails in September. I truly, absolutely love it this time of year. It's my favorite time. It's cold, no one's out, and they just smash rubber and they smash monster grenades. But my favorite time of year ever. So, well, let's upgrade, get a couple more, then get home, sit on the couch and eat a bowl of chili because it's cold, real cold today. Well, I did take advantage of one thing. Brad was eating his lunch. He's probably going to have to finish his lunch too, but I'm not quite hungry yet. I had a big breakfast. I'm fueled up. Now I'm fired up. So I'm going to keep after here. But like I said, what I'm doing with this grenade, making a nice long cast up on top of the break. My bait's landing probably 12 feet. And not letting it sink. So it lands. These big grenades, you want to thumb that thing, just like rubber. Same exact thing. So it lands, then blades open up. Don't let your hands slip off, but then blades open up, just go nice and slow. You'll watch, and you'll get kind of used to it to where you know where about halfway back your cast is. And once you get to about halfway back, I like to give it a little pop and just start speeding up. A lot of people think it's, oh, the water's cold. You can't go fast. These fish don't care. When they're ready to eat, they're going to eat. You think a Cisco is going to swim a lot slower because it's cold water even though he's got a 50-incher following him around? No, he's going to swim really fast. And that fires him up, generally. So, nice long cast. Let it land. Nice and slow. And like I said, it's a super, super good option because most guys are not throwing any kind of blades or flashaboo this time of year, and they're throwing rubber. Or most guys are really soaking suckers, but if you're throwing rubber, the guy in the front of the boat's throwing rubber, and you want to throw something a little different, slap a grenade on. It's a nice slow roll. It's an awesome, awesome bait. Lots of vibration. They can pick it up in deep water. It doesn't matter that they zone in on it, especially post turnover this clear water. But we'll keep after it here. Hopefully get another one.
Well, set the hook, rod hit the rod or the camera tower. Kind of my luck the way it goes all the time. Everything I do is the hard way. Can't believe it, but got smoked. I've been throwing a bulldog all morning. Decided to put a Medusa on. Definitely was a good choice. Team Rhino ball buster. Good contrast of color. It got bit. I just had nowhere to go with the rod. I hit that camera tower and the weight was gone. So anyway, new bait. Hopefully this is the ticket. We can get some fish going. Definitely moving a bunch of fish. One of the things that we've really concentrated on is looking for that bait, and it's something that we always do. It doesn't matter what time of the season, but bait is always a key to trying to find some muskies. And whenever we've been in the Ciscoes, we're seeing muskies. So definitely something that we're going to keep paying attention to. Get back out there, try to get another fish.
What 3 words do you always hear in a boat when catching muskies?
Again, Team Rhino.
Team Rhino color.
Team Rhino Outdoors.
Team Rhino Outdoors.
Team Rhino Outdoors.
Little pit bull from Team Rhino Outdoors.
Team Rhino Outdoors.
Said Team Rhino custom color.
Team Rhino Outdoors.
Team Rhino custom color.
Another Team Rhino color. Man, I'll tell you what, Team Rhino makes some awesome custom colors.
Order your custom baits and muskie equipment now from TeamRhinoOutdoors.com.
Muskie Bumper, a solid measuring platform for your catch. Constructed with strong plastic that floats and stainless steel hardware for years of use. Check us out at fishbumper.com. We measure your success.
Take one, but take it.
Buzzer beater right at the end here.
They're being terrible. Oh, I don't want to put my hands in there. It's so cold. There we go. That's nice right there. Open up. Keep her open there for me. Nope. Chill. There we go. That's the old death grip on you now. You were not getting out. Still might not get off. If you'd have jumped out right there, I'd have been real mad. Well, 9-inch rig boss, got it done. It's not as dark as it looks on the camera, I'm sure, but we marked this fish about 20 minutes ago. The fish went really negative on us. Very, very lazy if they'll even move. We marked this one side edge about 20 minutes ago, came back, and got it on a 9-inch rig boss. You can get these at Team Rhino Outdoors. I'm not sure on the color of this one. It's not a custom, but it's one of my favorites. It's got an orange belly, kind of a perch pattern. This glide bait is my favorite for colder water. In the summer months, I really like it too because you can get after it really fast, but in the colder months, you can work it nice and slow and it'll glide. You can glide this thing. This thing will glide like butter, 20 feet down, easy, if you need to. But super, super good glide bait. 9-inch rig boss. Let's get this fish out. It's pretty dark, it's cold, nasty. Wind's kind of picking up too on us. Get her out. Come here. Almost a twin to the one I caught earlier. Not exactly the same size. This is a nice fat one now, wow. Super, super healthy fish. Glide bait eater right at dark. A couple episodes ago, I did the same thing. They went negative on us and I put that glide bait on to start popping in nice and easy. Got smoked. Maybe a 44, 45 incher. A little bit longer maybe. Awesome fish though. Let's get her back. We love November. Saying goodbye, aren't you? Waving goodbye. Don't make me hold you. Well, that's a wrap for day 2. It was a much better day than yesterday. We actually seen fish, found fish, caught 2. Brad lost one on a ball buster husky medusa. I had one eat that monster grenade that I caught a fish on too. So we got a few fish found. I think we'll come back here tomorrow. Only issue with tomorrow is there's a cold front blowing in. It's gonna be a little colder and it's gonna be blowing pretty darn hard. So we might have to mix in some trolling, which I don't think is a bad idea because I think they're set up pretty darn good for trolling. And considering how most of the morning the monster grenade straight retrieve was getting more action than the pull pause rubber, I think the trolling actually might be the deal in the morning. So see how it goes, see how bad the wind is, see how cold it actually is, but we're gonna get out here on the same body of water tomorrow and hopefully stick a few of these. We've seen 2 really nice fish. One was probably upper 40s and the other one looked much larger than that, so hopefully we can catch that fish in the morning.
20 years of mayhem. Still built right here in the USA. Creating and making history one bait at a time. Catching personal bests in boats season after season. Find Muskie Mayhem Tackle at any fine retailer or go direct at muskiemayhemtackle.com. Let the mayhem begin.
Mayhem Ventures Inc. has you protected when it comes to snow, sand, and wind structural fencing products, providing residential, commercial, and Department of Transportation options for superior property and roadway protection. Mayhem Ventures at www.magveninc.com for your project needs.
Well, as you see behind me, we've got a lot more wind today, and it's very, very foggy because the heat is leaving the lake. We've already dropped a 1.5 degrees overnight, and we've already dropped a 0.5 degree since we've been out here, and it's only been probably an hour. And as you can see by what I'm wearing, I chose a really bad day to forget my Aft-Tek bibs. chose to put on a pounder to warm myself up a little bit, actually. The one thing I want to talk about is this fall fishing. Two things that really help me catch a lot of fish in the fall, especially up here up north, is get yourself a slow reel. This is a Calcutta TE. What that does is slows you down, slows your bait down, get your bait a little deeper. But one thing that I like is it allows you to control that slack a little bit. You always have a little bit of slack in there. You see I'm ripping pretty hard. What I'm wanting to do is I want that bait to really move really fast but not move very far. And what that's going to do is make those your baits hop a lot more. A lot of your rubber baits, you get that hop and the bait's moving really fast but it's not moving very far in the water column. You're going to get a lot more bites that way than follows. Whereas if you just went real slow like this, you'll get bit sometimes. More often than not, you'll get a lot of follows. Or if you're really ripping on it hard with a high gear reel, that bait's going to be moving really fast, not getting very deep. So what I'm trying to do is move my bait really fast, but not move it very far forward in the water column. That way it's kind of hanging there. It's still triggering as far as the speed, but it's still hanging there right in their face because the water is cold. But I like the speed to trigger them. When you're fishing up here on a Cisco base lake, as water temps start getting into the 40s, you want to start looking at the steep breaks, but specifically the ones, if just say you got a lake and it's got a 100-foot hole in it, and then there's a shoreline that's a nice, steady, gradual uprise in the break. That is usually where those fish are sitting. They're on those real steep breaks for whatever reason. I don't really know why. I think they just kind of go out to the open water, eat ciscoes, come right back and sit on that break. And they literally just sit there on that break. So you're not, when you're seeing those ciscoes, if they're really far behind you out deep, don't worry about that. Just cast the structure very close to where those ciscoes are. Because a lot of times at nighttime, those ciscoes will pull up on that break, and I think those muskies are sitting there waiting on those fish to come up there and eat them at dark. But when you're trolling, you can get those random fish that pull off that break and just go out there and meander. Maybe they go out and eat a cisco, whatever. They go out and meander in that open water, so then trolling is usually a better tactic at that point. So since we have not seen as many fish as we did yesterday, we've seen a couple, but not nearly as many. But we're having a pretty hard cold front today with the wind, and now it's bluebird skies. So we're going to throw out some trolling rods and do some trolling, see if those fish are more so out in the open water today rather than being on that break. But like I said, if you can find a big steep break anywhere near that really deep water, anywhere near you can find a big school of ciscoes, look for a steep break right beside it, or a big point, a big deep point that runs out in that big basin or runs out near those cisco schools. Check those two areas out.
Well, this is going to be a wrap for day 3. Challenging to say the least. I'm getting really tired of this craziness that we've dealt with in the last couple months, actually. No fish day 1. Day 2 we end up with 2, lose 2. They've seemed pretty active. We had a bunch of follows and what have you. Today we had a couple that we've seen a ton of them since we started trolling. We're out in the open water, we're on the breaks, we're trying a bunch of different things, but here's the deal that I guess the major part that I can say is the bait fish seem really low and deep today, and obviously those muskies are as well. So we're going to be back out tomorrow. Chase has to hit the road early afternoon, so we won't get a full day tomorrow, but hopefully it's an every other day program, and that's kind of what it's been looking like. Get a bite today, you have another day that's really tough, the next day you get another bite. So hopefully that's what happens tomorrow. We'll see you guys all then. Well, good sign. Chase and I just got out here, day 4. We changed lakes. Definitely a lot colder here. I don't know if our other lake that we were on yesterday dropped as much, but it's 46-degree water. 3 days ago we were at 50. We've lost some water temp. We're gonna stay after it, see if we can't get something done today. Good sign though. First spot, first fish. We'll keep after it. This morning I went with Ball Buster from Team Rhino Outdoors, Mag Dog, Pro Dog. I love orange on this body of water. Definitely very clear water at this point. You know, after that, when the lake rolls over, this lake really cleans up super nice. And I mean, I could see that fish probably 8-10 feet down there. So I like orange. I think it stands out, kind of goes against the grain of all the bait fish that these fish are actually eating. If we can get into a pot of bait, it'll stand out really good. So definitely something to think about. A lot of contrast in this bait. White belly, black, a little bit of gold on the back, and then that orange tail. Ball Buster from Team Rhino Outdoors and Muskie Innovations. Awesome color choice.
Oh, you ate the bait, Tina.
Come on!
Well, as you saw there, I actually had a double follow. Both really lazy, and one kind of went this way and one went that way. Well, with a glide bait, we got a little bit of wind, and with a glide bait and the really lazy, oh, here comes Owen, Brad. Well, what I was trying to tell you is that when you get some lazy follows like this, they're not really going. A glide bait's a really, really good tool to get those fish to eat, and I'm hoping that showed up. I had the double follow. I think that one was actually the other one. But one went this way and one went that way. We got a little bit of a wind to drift. So with a glide bait, usually what happens is you run out of room when you're figure eight. It's really hard to get them to eat at both sides. But like if you're in a river or in a lake like this where you got some current, you can cast off the opposite side of the boat and get those fish to follow. And now I can just sit here and pop this glider without even reeling. What that does is it allows you to just sit there, read that fish, try to trigger it. And I was telling Brad while he was filming it, it's kind of like watching one look at a sucker. Here he comes. These muskies are rude. They won't even let me talk. So anyways, cast upwind. If you've got one hanging around a boat, which they do a lot this time of year, cast upwind and you can leave that glider out there and you can just sit there and pop in its face and watch that fish. Try to figure out what gets that thing fired up. And that one that I just had a little bit ago just kind of sat there, and I was doing that, and I could tell she liked it when I popped it 2 or 3 times really quick and then just hung it. And I did that, and she lunged up, bit it, just did not get a hook. But it's a very, very cool thing that I really haven't heard anybody talk about. And the reason I do that is because I used to fish rivers a lot, and we would have a follow like that, and you're in river current, so if you just kind of stayed on your trolling motor upstream of the river, you could sit there and just pounce that glide bait in their face, and a lot of times you can watch them and just watch them, figure out what gets them fired up, and get them to eat it, which is what I'm trying to do right now. They're being a little boat shy, so the next one, now I know the next one, I need to just leave it out there 20 feet and just keep it out there and just keep popping it. See if I can't get one to eat it. They're definitely moving a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was not good. Big, big wind, cold, and the fish went deep, bait was deep. They just were not moving. But today, they're moving. And if they're following a glide bait, they're not sitting very deep. We're just kind of fishing some break lines. The action continues. What's really cool is they're giving us time to get cameras so you guys can see. The last one we just had there, Brad grabbed the underwater camera, stuck it in the water, and you should be able to see it. I would assume it wasn't 20 feet out there, but it kind of came up on the glider and followed a little bit and then kind of swam off. So we're going to stick with this program. Eventually one has to eat, right?
Well, this has been a frustrating shoot, that's for sure. We're out of time. Chase needs to hit the road. He's got to get back up north. He's got some commitments. Hey, this is muskie fishing, and you know, the crazy thing about this is 4 days on the water, 3.5 days, something like that. We had 1 day, and that's kind of typical a little bit in the fall. A lot of times you get smaller windows, and sometimes you just can't get those fish to cooperate. Definitely have had a ton of activity today, tons of fish moving, coming to the boat, some really cool action, but they just wouldn't quite do the deal. You know, it got really close on the one that Chase had kind of blow up next to the boat. Yeah, blades, rubber, wood. Seems like wood is kind of the real deal now with the gliders, so I don't know. I'll tell you this, we're gonna end the show here with a fish that we caught last year doing the same exact pattern in November. I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys all next week.
Well, 11-inch rig boss, Cisco pattern, getting it done in November in Minnesota. Late season, not a big one, but we'll take it. Get her back and get some more.